guys, today we're doing 10 tips on Twitch advice in terms of things to do, things not to do, some of the experiences I've had that I think will help with your Twitch channel growth if you're trying to take it a bit more seriously. So if you like the video, feel free to give it a share and a like, possibly even subscribe if it helps you. Let's get into the video. Right, number one of the main things that you'll hear from people all the time is fill out your about section. I can't tell you how many times I've been to people's channels where they've bought that, they've spent so much money on setups, they've got the best camera that they can need, the best microphone, but then they've got no about section, like it's completely empty. That is like a huge one for me, and it's like it's shown by a lot of other people as well that I've spoken to that it's the first thing that they check. Well, one of the top three things really. That you have two to three major things that people will check when they join your stream for the first time. Bearing in mind you have about 5 seconds to grab someone's attention, and whether they'll decide within that 5 seconds if they're going to stick around or not. And it's either down to, is the audio good enough for them to sit through? Do you have a camera, which I know a lot of people don't like, but we'll get into that in a bit. And then the third thing is your about section filled out? Because if your about section isn't filled out, not only does it not give up someone a place to learn more about you offline, because maybe they've joined in at the end of your stream and they want to learn a bit more about you when you're offline, so for your next stream, so they'll come back. And if you don't have an about section, just a brief description of what you like, what games you play, what you've streamed before, where they can find other social medias that they can find you on and such. For one, it's a great way to branch out and drop, increase other communities like your Instagram or your Twitter or whatever. But it's just the best place for people to find out about yourself without having to actually be there when you're live. So a massive one, definitely make sure your about section's filled out. Tip number 2 is get a camera. I know a lot of people are going to say either they can't afford one or they're not comfortable with showing their face yet, and I totally get that, it's understandable, but it really does help if you're trying to take Twitch more seriously and you want to grow your audience in terms of just a one-to-one personal connection with people. So if you have a new viewer and they can see who they're talking to, it puts a face to the channel, so instantly more of a connection. It gives them more of a reason to stick around. It's brilliant for reactions. Obviously, for me personally, I do a lot of horror things on my Twitch channel, so if I didn't have a camera, you wouldn't see the jump scares, you wouldn't see me panicking when I'm being on chase scenes. It's a big thing, and it really just help push your channel. So I really advise getting 3. Make sure your audio is on point. The first thing that I personally check, and I know from a lot of other people that I've spoken to over the years, the first thing they check when they join someone's stream is the audio clear enough? Because nobody wants to hear static coming through the mic, really overbearing noises. If you're in a party chat, for instance, and there's loads of loud people, if you're streaming a solo game, make sure it's just your voice as clear as possible with hardly any background noise. If you can fix that, that's one of the first steps to getting people to stick around, because then they can hear what you're saying, they can hear that you're acknowledging them in the chat. That's a big thing. So number 3, fix your audio first. Number 4, just make sure you're generally interactive with chat. There's so many people that I see that if someone drops in for the first time, they just won't even acknowledge it for a start. I'm not talking about the massive streamers where there's thousands of people, because I totally understand that. That's very difficult if there's a massive feed going on. I'm on about the people that are struggling to get 3 to 4 viewership, and someone new joins in and they completely ignore the fact that they exist. Or even if they dropped a follow, or they've even donated bits or a subscription, and sometimes people just don't even react to it. They don't even thank them, they don't say anything. Number 5. Now this may be not one of the top things for most people, but certainly for myself, in terms of growth and just general all-round enjoyment of Twitch, open yourself up a Discord. Start yourself a Discord. Make sure you do it as best as you can. Make it interactive and fun. Be talking there daily if you can. I know that people have busy lives, but if you want Twitch to be a thing that you want to work, then Discords are just a massive part of it. It's the best place for your audience to find you offline. A lot of the time, at least it's for me, and a lot of other people don't even promote on all these Facebook pages or Instagram and Twitter a lot of the time. I stopped that personally absolutely nearly a year ago now. I stopped promoting on those sort of pages because it's just flooded with follow for follows and support for support and all that sort of stuff. So the Discord is just a space for you where people can focus on you and they're there to support you, and then you can build around that and show your appreciation back to them by doing events with them or community game nights. We recently just had our community game night started back up again, and it's one of my favourite things to do on streaming is playing games with the Discord and having teammates and building like that community. So a big one for me, and it should be a massive one for you guys if you're taking this seriously. Get yourself a Discord. Number 6, find other ways to get your content out there, whether it be via YouTube or Instagram or Twitter or even using Facebook. I personally obviously use YouTube and Instagram, and I was using Facebook for a time. And also when you're going to use them correctly, so know where you're posting. Alright, so if you're going to post to Instagram, mainly just pictures, and YouTube is long form videos or short form videos if you're going to do it like on TikTok or something like that. Like, know where you're going to post correctly, and other ways of helping you branch out, because Twitch just doesn't have a discoverable algorithm like other platforms do. It's super hard to be noticed, especially when there's 15 other people playing the same game as you at the same viewership. No one's going to scroll all the way down. So find other ways of getting your content out there to then build yourself an audience for when you go live. Number 7 is going to be plan out what you're going to do. Now, I personally struggled with this at the beginning because I wasn't entirely sure what I was next going to stream. And as you take it more seriously, and your viewership grows, and you're thinking, hey, this could be a thing that I want to do possibly full time, or even just a few more days a week for a few longer hours, then maybe have like a schedule set out. So that helps not only yourself stick to what you're going to do throughout the week, so you know exactly that on Monday I'm going to be playing Call of Duty or whatever, and then Tuesday I'm going to be doing Resident Evil. Like, you have a schedule, and it lets your fans know that you're going to be there in that time. And when you do have a schedule, say you're going to start at 8 o'clock, make sure you're there at 8 o'clock, and if you're going to finish at 11, finish at 11. Like, it gives people time to plan around you, and then they won't miss your streams, and that's ideally what you want. 8. I cannot stress this enough. Please do not go into people's streams and just before you're about to stream, say, hey, I'm about to go stream now, because people hate that. It's like an unspoken thing that most people just know not to do in Twitch, and the amount of people that still do it. There's just certain things you shouldn't do, right? So you can't go into someone's stream and self-promote. Don't self-promote. If you want to promote your stuff, make yourself a Discord like I mentioned, make yourself a YouTube channel, and build your audience organically rather than going into someone else's community and pretending you're there to support them when really you're just there to self-promote yourself. It's a real scummy move, and the amount of people that do it, if anything, it will just harm your channel because it cuts people off. So please don't self-promote in other people's. Number 9, don't do follow for follow. Not only is it against Twitch terms of service, which can get you banned and you won't be able to use that account anymore, it's just really a waste of your time, because the follow account really doesn't mean much. Like, you can have, there is literally Twitch partners now that have thousands upon thousands of followers, and they're struggling to get 3 views. It really doesn't matter how many follow accounts are. It matters for the affiliate program, but that's literally about it. And other possibly like later down the line, maybe sponsorships want you to have a certain follow account. But other than in terms of like your everyday kind of like streaming and building your community and getting further with actual streaming and learning things, it doesn't help at all. Follow for follow harms you and anything else, because you're going to have this fake like thing in your head where you think, oh, I've got so many followers, so as soon as I go live, I'm going to have 50 plus people there because I've got 50 plus followers, and that's just not the case. It just really isn't. The amount of people you'll see with well over 100 followers and they struggle to even get 1 viewer in there. Build your audience naturally. Don't do follow for follow. Number 10, and our final tip, is don't do support for support. Now, people are real sneaky with this one, because they'll say they're not doing support for support, so they'll come and watch your stuff, or they'll constantly lurk in your stream. And there's a massive amount of people that do this and just generally want to support you and are just awesome people, actually engage in the chat a lot of the time. Whereas there is some sneaky people out there that they lurk, or they tell you they're supporting you. So they'll pop into your stream and say, hey, I've just popped around to support you, and they'll name where they're from or whatever, if they're from a Discord. And then when you don't turn up at their stream, because obviously you don't have to, it's not mandatory, they'll then send you messages saying, hey, why didn't you watch my stuff? And that's not what it's about. Like, people should want to support you, for the content that you provide and make it worthwhile for people to watch, not because they've watched your stuff and you've got to go and watch theirs. So you've got to be really careful. That's been my 10 tips for Twitch streaming. If you found anything useful, maybe let me know in the comments if you disagreed or whether you agreed with some of the things I said. If you like the video enough, go drop it a like, drop me a subscribe, share it out, that'd be greatly appreciated. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.